this video, I'm going to tell you my favorite cookbooks of all time. I've actually been doing this housewife life for the last 5 years, but in this time, I've been cooking a lot because my competitors are restaurants. My husband loves going to restaurants, and we all know that they have markups of even 400%. We're trying to save money, we want to eat healthier, we want to eat even better quality food. So this is the way to do it, and I haven't had luck with following recipes online, so I found that recipes from actual books tend to be better, and I've been borrowing a lot of them from the library. I've been buying some of the top rated ones on Amazon, and from all of that I've had some hits and misses, and I'm going to tell you what they are. But I'm going to start with my #1 favorite book of all time. I actually came across it recently, a month ago, and this book is called Cook It in Your Dutch Oven. Wow, the recipes here is just, the reaction I get from the meals here are just something else. I didn't even know food could taste like this. I can't believe I haven't heard about this before. It's from this organization called America's Test Kitchen, and America's Test Kitchen, I didn't even know about this, but they have a facility in Boston with, I guess, hundreds of chefs and food scientists, and all they do all day is test recipes 50 times or so to perfection. And wow, it is so worth it. I cannot believe I haven't heard about this before. The recipe I tried first was actually the one on the cover, and I guess it was on the cover for a reason. This is called the Weeknight Pasta Bolognese, and wow, yes, the ingredients are expensive. It's a lot of ingredients, and it takes a lot of time to make, but it is worth it. And when you're at home, you can, listen to music or watch something on YouTube while you're cooking. I like to watch virtual HD tours, by the way, like in European Village. It's something entertaining I like to see while I'm cooking. But anyway, it's totally worth it to make these meals. I didn't even know cooking in a Dutch oven was a thing. I thought it was just like another pot. I didn't know it was something spectacular. I learned about, from this book, these pots from France called Creuset, I guess. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced. And they're sold in like these high-end kitchenware stores. Anyways, I digress, but I just love this America Test Kitchen organization so much that I went to the library and just totally rated every cookbook from America's Test Kitchen, and they were Cook It in a Cast Iron. I love cast iron. One of the first recipes I made was this chocolate chip skillet cookie. It wasn't actually as good as an actual chocolate chip cookie, but it was interesting, and I'm going to be trying more recipes from this book. This looks interesting. I haven't actually tried a recipe from it, but it looks really exciting because it's called The Best of America's Test Kitchen. These were the ladies who had a cook show on the Food Network, Bridget and Julia, so this looks interesting too. Basically, if you want to really up your cooking game, really check out the America's Test Kitchen. They have a website where you can pay a subscription fee, which, by the way, I'm not being paid by them, but I actually signed up for their trial, and wow, it was amazing. The recipes, it's just straightforward. There's no like long story and all this nonsense junk that you see on other recipe websites. Straight to the point, tells you how to make the meal, and it has a very straightforward video on how to make the meal, because sometimes it's better to see, right? It has a subscription fee of like $50 a year or so. I don't know, I don't remember the price, but it's somewhere like that. And it looks like it's totally worth it because the meals you make, wow, your family will be super impressed and they will never want to go to restaurants again. Yes, it is that good. My next favorite cookbook is Dinner for Everyone by Mark Bittman, and he is an amazing chef. He's always talking about social issues too. That's what I like. And he is like really pro plant-based meals, and that's the concept of his book actually. It has 100 iconic dishes made in 3 ways: an easy way, a vegan way, and a hard way. And of course I always like to go to the hard way because that's better, and it's totally worth it. And the French onion soup, wow, that meal, yeah, it was super expensive, like maybe $100 just to get the ingredients. Like it lasts for a while and you get like a bone broth out of it. It's so worth it. That meal, that was like the wow meal. Hearty French onion soup. There's no picture of the actual hearty French onion soup, but man, I couldn't even believe that a soup could taste like this. There's no way that they have this at restaurants. So Mark Bittman, anything by him really should be good, but this one is totally worth having in your house. So check this out. And my next favorite cookbook is What's Gabby Cooking by Gabby Delkin. Everyday California food. And I haven't had one recipe in this book that I did not like. I've made a lot, especially, let's see, I tried this chicken tzatziki bowl, like her California version of that, and it's just so fresh and amazing, and it doesn't take that long like the other books that I mentioned. And I mean, it's not as like super wow as the other recipes from the America Test Kitchen, but they're still good and they're fresh and totally worth having, and she seems like a really cool person to hang out with. So check this book out, or anything from Gabby Delkin. My next cookbook that I recommend, it's not actually a cookbook, but how to make your recipes, how to cook. And that's something that I think is really important, because there are a lot of myths that people go by. For example, some people think you should just let your chicken sit outside for a while before cooking it, and this book dispels it all and tells you how to get the most flavors. This book is actually called The Science of Cooking, and this is by Dr. Stuart Fairmont, food scientist. And it really gets into the nitty-gritty of cooking. You want to up your game, you want to really own the kitchen, you got to read a book like this. You got to have this handy around. It's super worth it. And I even got his other book, The Science of Spice. And how do you decide what combination of spice to use? I mean, you can't just follow recipes and just say, hey, I'm just, just gonna trust them. This book really tells you what the formula is. It really gets into the science of it and how the flavors go together and which combinations work well. I haven't actually read the whole thing, and it's really technical, but it's totally worth having. I highly recommend books like this. The next book that I recommend is, this book is called Plant-Powered Families, over 100 kid-tested whole food vegan recipes. Well, my kids don't really like these kinds of foods, but I try my best to give them like at least a little bit. I love to do like maybe vegan meals every other meal or every 2 meals, because plant-based meals are healthier and they're cheaper. So Drina Burton is an amazing cook, because she is like testing her recipes like so many times to perfection, and she has so many interesting things. Well, this is not really a meal, but this is called Crazy Brownies, and can you believe that this brownie has potatoes and beans in it, kidney beans, but it was so amazing. You couldn't even tell that they were vegan brownies. They are so amazing, totally worth making. It took me like a whole day to make that. Her ultimate teriyaki stir fry, I've done that. Amazing. Totally worth trying. I love trying cuisines from different countries, and that's why I highly recommend a book like this, especially this book, Manchi's Big Book of Korean Cooking. And she has a YouTube channel, and you can see clearly like this is really popular, and the ingredients that I wanted from this book I couldn't find at your typical Asian market. I had to go to Houston and go to a Korean grocery store, and they were not even labeled in English. I had to like open the book, and it was actually a few ingredients, and I had to like point to the ingredients and say, hey, do you guys have this? And the guy at the grocery store was very helpful. I made soy butter pan grilled chicken. That was good. I've made the spicy soft tofu stew. I've made a vegetable stock for it, and it's totally worth it, and she's so fun to watch on YouTube and very helpful, and it's such an adventure to try food from different countries, because it's just so distinct, so different, it's so adventurous, you could say. And I totally recommend doing this, like going to the library and just finding books from different countries. I haven't actually tried any recipes from this book, but wow, look at this cover, like mi cocina or mi cochina. I haven't learned Spanish yet. This looks interesting because he has a map of Mexico. That's how he has his book laid out, like by chapters. You do the different parts of Mexico. It just looks so appetizing. Wow, I know you can't judge a book by its cover, but these covers are so lovely. It just makes you so excited to try. My Indian cookbook. Like, I'm not really interested in traveling as much anymore as I'm older, because I'm like more of a homebody, but wow, this is a real way to have like a worldwide adventure. My Indian cookbook. Fascinating looking recipes, stuff that you can't even find at the restaurant because it takes a long time to make. Guys, sometimes there are misses, and I'm gonna just tell you about one of them. Like, I tried so many recipes from this book. My husband actually bought it. It's called The Home Cook by Alex Garnaschelli, and I've tried maybe 5 recipes, and none of them were good. The last one was called that I made was called a sweet potato puree with brown sugar and orange. Blackstrap molasses. It just did not go well together. Honestly, I just preferred sweet potato by itself, pureed, not with any of these other ingredients. And just like her, I guess it just didn't go with her taste buds. Maybe it will go with yours. I don't know. But she's a popular chef that has been on the Food Network, but not my style. Hopefully this has been helpful for you and motivates you to try different cookbooks and really put some wow in your kitchen. I'm telling you, it's totally worth it to make complicated meals. I know it's such a luxury to just sit and cook, but if you go as fast as possible, if you memorize some parts of the recipe, using a food processor, using the tools around you, because it's not like in the olden days, you can use food processors for the chopping. There's just so many other tricks to make this go faster. Using a dishwashing machine. A lot of people, believe it or not, don't have dishwashing machines. So things like this really makes the cooking faster. I always see at the grocery store people just stuffing their carts with frozen meals. Guys, try to avoid that as much as possible and try your best to cook at home with these cookbooks out there. There's just so many amazing recipes out there to try. And thanks for watching. If you have actually a cookbook that you recommend, please let me know in the comments below. I love to connect with like-minded people. And thanks for watching.